Good afternoon, everybody. Everybody, we're gonna talk about divination candles. Talk about every candle that we use. Okay. This is my brand, Santeria candle. It's blessed with oils and everything. You can get this candle from any store. But I blessed it, put oil in it, prayed over it and everything, and this is my label. Okay? Santeria. Okay? This is a divination candle. This is a candle that will help purify your house if you're doing a cleansing. Um, and when I go back to divinations with tarot cards, tools, everything. Even these candles are even used as cleansings for exorcisms, to bring the innocent back. Also too for purification, like I said. Um, Also for healing candles. These are really strong candles. I sell them for $15 because they are blessed. They are oiled. They are oiled inside the wick. See, they're oiled inside this area and everything. They're blessed. Okay. Um, and they are marked with the skull, which is my mark, the Mexican skull with the cross. Um, Also, too, they're used for peace. They're used for healing, divination, all that stuff. They're great to have on the altar. I'll also be selling the green candle, the red candle. They'll be blessed. The green candles for money, for businesses, and everything else. These are more stronger than the $10 ones. Um, Also, too, with my label on it, and this label is also blessed and everything else. And it brings the spirits in. It's a stronger Santeria candle, and it's really positive. This is my new product idea. I got the labels done from um, Billy's brother-in-law and everything. Had it designed, and I put them on here. Also, too, um, each tool that you use, each candle that you use and everything, these are 7-day candles. They burn for 7 days or more. So if you go to bed, common sense, blow out the candle and relight it at the same time each day until this candle is burned out. Okay? This is for tools and bringing more power to your rituals and everything else. Okay. Also, too, the bracelets that I showed you before, necklaces, everything that I make has been blessed and everything else. Did 2 readings today, been busy. Um, Also, too, I decided to do a special and everything. Anyone who comes and gets a reading from today till next week will get a free mojo bag, okay? And the mojo bag is one is for money, one is for love, one is for health, and one is for protection. So when you come and do your reading, before you do that, I will ask you, what kind of mojo bag do you want? And I will make it before you come for your reading, so you will have it when you go home. Okay, I've given 2 mojo bags away today because I had 2 readings today. And one was picked for health, and the other one was picked for love. And that's a good one. Hey, they're both good. Okay. Also too, tarot cards. Okay, when I do readings, and everything. I tell the client the death card does not mean death, okay? Um, it means new beginnings, okay? Also, when I do the readings, I ask the client not to say anything, and after I do the reading, they can ask questions, okay? Which is all good, because the thing is, I read it, and what they don't understand or what I said or whatever, I will explain to them. I have no problem with that. I also do relationship counseling and everything, and relationship counseling and everything else. I do a reading, and then I do counseling. Okay, whatever comes out in the reading, and you come in as as a couple, which will still be 25 per person, and they will come in, and I will do a reading on them, and then I'll explain what both of the couple is going through. If you having issues in your marriage or issues with your relationship, I counsel that too. Also too, I have also talked with people about sexual relations and things like that. If things are in a rut in the bedroom and everything else. So I help you out with that also. To refresh your marriage, not be afraid of your sexuality and everything else. I'm there, I'm open minded. I talk to a lot of people. I counsel a lot of people, and I don't judge anybody. Okay, I don't judge anybody at all. I'm here to help. Understand that I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm here to help and make you understand that you can be blessed and have bigger and better lifestyle that you have now, instead of being dull. Okay. Also too, I want to tell people out there that all my products are at a reasonable price. The candles I showed you are $15. The other candles are 10. The similar bracelets are 7. The rosary is 20. The other ones, they are the chokers, everything. They're 20. Um, all the other items, mojo bags are 10. um I make spell baskets, I make all that. And the thing is, people need to learn, and I have classes too, paranormal classes, which is, how to learn to get an EVP, how to deal, what ghost is what. And just think too, people that feel like their house is haunted and everything else, it can be an entity, or it can be the energy that you're putting into your house. Energy is like, it's almost like a big plasma ball, okay? And it can be a black ball of negative energy if you're fighting with your mate, if you're fighting with your husband, if your house is full of dysfunction and drama and everything else. You're putting that negative energy into that home, and it can form to any person or like the height. It can look like a shadow walker, but it's a shadow to your energy, and this energy that can shapeshift into different things, um, eats off of you, eats off your fear. If you fear to change your life, if you don't want to get out of your comfort zone, or you come from a domestic violence situation and you don't want to change, you're so afraid to cross the street, or get out of your comfort zone and everything. The main thing is that you're going to have to move on sometimes, and you're going to have, sometimes you don't even have time to breathe. Okay, there's people that are living in new states and living in new towns and everything, but you know something, you take the risk, you take that new beginning, and you live life. okay? Because people have choices and everything else. And if you live in your comfort zone and it's not doing nothing good for you, then move on. Get out of that comfort zone. Grow big, blossom. There's people that have been in my state where I live for 30, 40, 50, 60 years and they never got out of it. And they died here. But some of them didn't even accomplish anything or earn anything. And it's like family roots and that's what they're used to. But the thing is, if you don't reach out and you don't conquer the universe and you don't reach out and get something positive for you or your family or anything, you're never going to change your ways. And some of you have poverty-minded spirits and you're going to live like your family. Okay? Some families are good, some families are dysfunctional. And why would you want to live a dysfunctional life? Okay? People need to break those chains. Break the chains, man. Break them. Get out of there. That's why people don't have breakthroughs. People don't have breakthroughs and look at all this violence in the world and everything because no one wanted to change. No one wanted to show compassion or love. They just wanted to be angry, 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 and kill, and kill, and kill. And that's all they want to do. Even, like a child that's so angry and everything else, can't take it out on the parents, so they take it out on the fur baby or an animal and everything else, which is not right either. You need to break the chains, even in love and everything else. You get into a relationship, abusive relationship, you get out of that relationship and then you go into another abusive one. Common sense will tell you that you're going to end up, going around in circles and never resolving anything that you contribute. How can you be in a relationship or a lifestyle that you're running around in circles and nothing gets done? Then you end up depressed. Then you end up overeating or you end up drinking or doing drugs or whatever. Whatever makes you happy, But the main thing in all you do, you need to just step out of your comfort zone. I known people all my life. Okay. My first husband, okay, never got out of his comfort zone, was lazy and everything else. Didn't want to work. The only thing he could focus on was music. Okay. Being in a band at 40 something years old. I understand that. But the thing is, you have to support your family. You can't support them on love or anything else. You can have that side gig and everything else until you're noticed. But you still have to work. You still have to achieve certain things common sense will tell you. You can't take the money you earned and buy all the instruments and everything else, then turn around and leave your family starving. Common sense. But he only had one focused mind, a narrow-minded person. Thought about himself, self-centered. But I was the one that went out there and worked in the factories and everything else in Mineral Wells, Texas. Worked so hard in a package factory, and it was called Texas Packaging in Mineral Wells. I worked there and everything else. And while he watched Warren, my son, and EJ, my son, both of them. And when I came home, I still had to clean the house, do everything, take care of the kids, everything else. He didn't even do anything. He just laid on the couch and fell asleep. No motivation. Nothing. No motivation at all. But I had the motivation because I knew I had to take the responsibility. And you know something? Our marriage only lasted 4 years because I stepped out of the comfort zone. I changed my life. He didn't want to change, so I moved on. I moved on. My second husband, he was younger than me. He was younger than me and everything else. I told him he had motivation. He had all this promise, all this promise. Didn't want to do it with me. And then 6 months later, when I left him and everything else, and I told him the truth. I left, and I said he had all the potential in the world. Just because he came from another country, he had all the potential in the world. But he was scientific, I was spiritual, and we banged heads. So I went on with my son. I moved on to another relationship. Got married for 9.5 years. But he wanted to do it his way. He wanted control. I told him he had potential. I would give him all the support in the world. I would look up everything. I would research everything and everything. We started a affordable handyman and everything else. He had all that potential. I got the jobs. I did everything. No motivation whatsoever. Had to do it his way. Everything else. If I could do half of the jobs that I was getting the jobs for, I would have been doing them. So I decided, well, I'm going to go back to work. I have to do what I have to do, and that's it. Take care of my kids. I was pregnant for Desiree, and I was still working. I was working in the factories. I was working in the lab, the vault at LBS, everything. And I worked. He never got out of his comfort zone. He did what he wanted to do, and that's what he did. And he wandered and did this, adultery, everything. But the thing is, I came home, cleaned the house, I did this, I did that, and everything else. But look at the trail. Those 3 husbands did all the same stuff. All the same stuff. I didn't break the chain. I kept on going on and on into relationships that were always trying to control me. And I wasn't going to have it anymore. And my kids. But it took me a third marriage to realize that. And I don't want used people out there that are suffering the same relationship and everything else. That suffer all those relationships, that go around and be in a circle of situations and not breaking the chain. You need to break the chain. Because if you don't break the chain now, then you're going to be miserable till the day you die. And the thing is, this is what was crazy. I humbled myself. I worked, I took care of the house. Then on top of that, I took care of them. I didn't get no love back. I didn't get nothing back. I didn't even get no appreciation. The only blessings that I got was my children. When Desiree came along, she was my third child, and I was 37 years old. Her dad didn't even want her at all. Her dad didn't even want her, and I told the truth. I told him I was pregnant. He told me to abort her. And I said, no, I'm not going to abort her. It took him 8 years later, to recognize that Desiree was his daughter and everything. Her stepdad hurts her, and her other dad didn't want nothing to do with her after she was 8 years old. But you know something? Her biological dad is like, I told him, I said, if you're going to want to be in her life, you're going to have to help me. He had no problem with that. Even though we don't see eye to eye in other things, I want my daughter to have a good life, especially with her biological dad. Okay, and the thing is, he's grown up, he's older, he's stepping out of his comfort zone. He started teaching medical students and everything, started his own website business, everything. You know, he finally listened. He finally stepped out of that comfort zone. EJ's dad, he would never learn. He'll never step out of the comfort zone. He'll always be self-centered. The 18 years that EJ has been on this earth, he has not even given 1 red cent. I have raised my son. I've taken care of my son and everything else. When I thought my last husband had potential of raising the kids and everything else, but the only thing he did was abuse, control, try to be superior and everything else. The thing is, if you cannot be 100% man, 100% father, it doesn't matter of the DNA, don't even bother going next to kids at all. Because the thing is, you're in their life. They're looking for a role model. They don't need someone beating them or telling them what to do or being abusive to them or negative or controlling or anything. If you want to discipline children and everything, fine. But I'm just saying, don't work them like workhorses and show no love. Because you need to show them love. My kids loved my last husband. But the way he was and everything else, the more love they showed, the more negative they got. And when he hurt my daughter and everything else, that's what all fell apart. He had a good family. He had a good person around him. That's why you need to all break your chains of negativity. Because this rotten world will eat you alive. People lose out on opportunities because they're so stuck in their comfort zone. I'm afraid of change. I'm afraid of this. I'm afraid of adapting. I can't take this no more. The thing is, if you can't take it no more and you can't justify it, it's time to make a resolution or solution. You need to meet in the middle. Because if you don't meet in the middle or anything like that, then nothing's going to be done. And you can't start a conversation like, hey, yelling. You need to sit back and say, hey, what's going on? What's going on with this situation? Oh yeah, your blood's gonna feel like it's boiling and you're ready to pop your top off. But sweetie, if you can't get a mutual conversation and everything else, then it's not even worth talking about it. You need to have a truce. You have to meet in the middle. You have to have a peace. How many women out there, their mates have cheated on them left and right, but you're still with them? Why? Because you love them? Or they're your sole their sole provision? Or you're staying together because of the kids? So you're going to live in a world of misery or open marriage because you're staying together for the kids and everything else. What in the world are you showing to your kids when you're miserable and you're crying and everything else because he's taking care of someone else, or he's cheating on you, or he's not being honest to you or abusive to you behind closed doors? Break the chain. How are you supposed to have breakthroughs by God? How are you supposed to be blessed by God when you're in that same situation? When you're not changing, when things are not changing. Sometimes God takes you out of those situations, to move on because you're not moving on. That's what God did for me. I was given chances and chances and chances and everything else. But when something happened to my daughter, and something happened to my daughter and everything, and it came to an extreme, God put a person right in front of me to say, hey, this is your time to go. This is your time. These people are going to help you and get you out of here. Because he knew I could do better. He knew I could help more people. Because he didn't change, I had to change. I had to move on. But now my kids are living a good life. And now I'm living a good life, whatever life's left in me. I still pray. I still pray for all of them. I still pray for the ones who hurt me. Because in my old ways, I would have been bitter, revengeful, and everything else. I'm not. Life's too short. We're on borrowed time. We need to know that we can do bigger and better things in our lives. We need to break things. We need to break all those chains that keep us binded and miserable. And that's what I did. My business, my counseling and everything, I counsel, I have my clients and everything else. Sometimes it's busy, sometimes it's not. But you know something? I do my best. I do my counseling, I do everything I can do. But I want to reach you people and tell you, if you break your chains, if you break your influences and your negative influences, you won't lose out on those opportunities of life. How are you going to have a breakthrough if you don't break the chains, your strongholds? Okay? Stop making excuses. Stop making excuses for your boyfriend, for your husband. Stop making excuses for you. People can read you. People can see right through you. Stop it. The thing is, it's like an alcoholic, a drug dealer that's in denial that they're on drugs or they're selling drugs or whatever. Denial. It's like a mom can't cope with her children and everything else. And they abuse themselves by taking pills or whatever to be nostalgic through the day. Denial. You know how many people that have denial? So many. People will deny anything to the day they die. The things they have done. And there's no excuse. There's no excuse at all. People have to understand there's purity in everything. You know? You need to start cleansing your homes. Taking dominion over your homes. Take all that negative energy out. And bless your homes and light these candles for 7 days. It's only $15. But these candles will help you. And soon I'll have money candles. Soon I'll have the red ones for love, the pink ones, yellow ones, blue ones, all of them. But this one is purification. You need to purify your homes. Break those chains. Have a breakthrough. This skull is for the day. Is an image that represents the dead. That represents your life. That represents, that takes all the negative in and takes it out and recycles it and makes it of the positive energy. Santeria is very strong, very, very ritual, very, it's not voodoo. It's to deal with the saints. It's to deal with the skulls. It's to deal with the Mexican skulls of death. But it's all good. So order your products today and have a blessed one and keep it real. Break those chains.